All right, it's time for Thirsty Thursday today, and a Portland craft distillery is hoping to add some sweetness to your life through their line of spirits made with seasonal fruit.
Yeah, Stone Barn Brandyworks is located in Southeast Portland, and they want to elevate your next cocktail, and they have just the product to do that. Joining us on the couch right now to tell us more about their products is co-founder Sebastian Deegans. Good morning. Thanks for joining us on the couch here this morning.
Good morning, Travis. How are you?
Oh, doing well. This is really fun. You know, we were talking in the break just before. Brandy is not really something that we dive into a whole lot. Before we dive into exactly what you brought and what you make, tell us about Stone Barn Brandyworks. You know, tell us about your story.
Okay. Well, my wife and I started Stone Barn 13 years ago, and we're one of the founders of Distillery Row, which some of your viewers may have heard about. I brought we can talk a little bit more about that if there's time. You know, it was a passion project. I was a backyard distiller and got some training in Chicago and launched into it. I think if I had, we were going to become grappa kings of Oregon. If I had done any market research, you know, once we sold grappa to the 13 people who drink it, we had to look for some other stuff. So we expanded. We like working with all sorts of fresh fruit, local sourcing, and we moved into brandy-based liqueurs, and because there's time when fruit's not around, we started making whiskey.
Yeah,
really neat.
Talk to us about that. You say you're very motivated by the seasons, what's in season, and like you mentioned, there's times a year where fruit's not available, so you made whiskey. Tell us about the line of products you brought.
Sure. I think really it started with, we're really fortunate to live here in the Northwest where fruit is abundant. I brought one example here your viewers might not be that familiar with. This is quince. My wife and I picked them in Wilsonville at a quince orchard on Sunday. I almost came dressed in rain gear, sort of. That's our costume or our work clothes this time of year. But luckily, that was a day that what I wanted to show is just how different the quince are. They, you know, apples and pears seem to all want to look the same.
Yeah.
These were all. You could have found most of them on like 2 adjacent trees. So we have to cut those by hand. We cook them down. We've known the orchard owner for quite some time, and he lets us pick there. We make a liqueur out of those, meaning we cook it down, then we combine it with some organic sugar and ultimately a brandy-based spirit, and that's don't have any to show because we're making that right now, but that's what we often do in October, November.
What does a quince taste like?
Yeah,
what is it?
How does it compare to like your pear style brandy that you have here?
Almost nobody knows the taste of quince because you got to cook it to eat it. So it is a fruit. It's not an apple, not a pear, but a little bit like that, with a little citrus thrown in, sort of in terms of flavor profile. Have you ever had like a cheese plate with membrillo on it?
Ooh, I don't know if I have.
That's sort of a quince paste. They make that in Latin countries, so it goes well with cheese. Goes well with a bar near us made up a drink called the Quincidence, and
that's great.
That's a really tasty one.
That's great. So to dive in a little bit more with your brandies here, with what you brought, what can somebody expect if they crack open one of these bottles? You know, what kind of flavor profile can they be expecting?
Well, let me suggest this first. We're at Portland Farmers Market every Saturday, and because we do make some unique things, it's always a good place to come and try it for free, sample it up, and see if something like that would work. We make a lot of odd spirits. Our biggest seller, actually, is probably this green walnut liqueur here, Nicino. We picked the walnuts in we picked the walnuts in June and July. It has a great bitter but sweet and rich flavor profile, which makes it wonderful in mixing in cocktails, whiskey cocktails, for example, like a Manhattan kind of thing. We had our biggest sale this year of Nicino to Salt and Straw, who made an ice cream flavor out of it in June.
Oh, really?
So it was
Wow.
one of their picnic. There was a picnic series, and it was a Nicino and cherry pie was the ice cream flavor.
Oh my gosh!
was a
So it's pretty versatile. You can mix it up in a cocktail. You can put it on food of some kind.
In dessert, on dessert, and with
Yeah.
dessert is what I tell people.
Oh, that's
So-
great.
Yeah,
So that's green walnuts. Next to it, I've got a pear brandy, which is totally dry. I'll just show you here for a moment. This is takes about 18 pounds of fruit to make a bottle like that.
Wow.
It's not pear flavored. It's just we take the pears and we mash them up. We ferment them, and then we distill off the alcohol. And in this particular case, we put it in a French oak barrel for 2 years, and it's 84 proof. And it's just pear. There's nothing else in it.
Really? Wow.
Truly a labor of love, it sounds like.
No doubt.
And yeah, you say you're at the Portland Farmers Market every weekend, so that's where people can go and find your product. Is there anywhere else they can find it real quick?
Well, we'll make about 10,000 bottles this year, and we're distributed in, some of our products go to Oregon liquor stores. You can find Nicino in probably about 60 stores and liquor stores in Oregon. We're at other markets, but this time of year, there's only a few that are year-round.
Gotcha.
PSU is one, and then People's Farmers Market in Southeast Portland. That's 4 blocks from my distillery. And
Wonderful. We only have 10 seconds left, so I have to cut you off. But stonebarnbrandyworks.com, another way to find them. Cheers to this. This is a really neat Thirsty Thursday segment. I can't say we've had brandy like this on the show before. So congratulations to your success, and hopefully we'll see you at the Farmers Market here soon.
Thank you, Travis.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good one out there.